Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, the #1 YouTube channel for you to level up your communication skills. Learn the art of public speaking, social skills, and digital content creation to take your message to the world. For today's episode, we're going to be entering the world of public speaking, and within this world, there's a topic known as filler words, which we will be covering in detail. Now, if you don't know what filler words are, these are the words that we often use in our dialogue that isn't progressing our message forward. And when you use them a lot, whether it's in a dialogue or a presentation, a speech, whatever, it starts hurting your credibility. You're using a lot of noise, but there's not much substance behind it. And subconsciously, this is one of the worst ways to communicate. So today's video is really going to talk about the psychology of filler words, and it's going to give you 2 practical tips on how you can start overcoming it and having a clearer speech in the process. So the question is, Armani, why do we use filler words in the first place? We often use filler words for 2 unfortunate reasons. Number 1, we're unaware. And number 2, we hate silences. Now I want to tell you a quick little story. I remember when I first entered Toastmasters and I got called on for table topics, I didn't say one single word. And if you don't know what table topics are, these are 1 to 2 minute impromptu speeches. So you get called on stage, you pull out a topic from a hat, and you have to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. So the first time, I choked. And by choking in front of so many people, I got so embarrassed that I quit public speaking for a very, very long time. Until a few months had passed and I decided, you know what, I'll give it another try. So the second time I get into the world of public speaking again and do another table topics, this time I end up going the full 2 minutes. And once I talked about a topic for 2 minutes, I felt very, very accomplished. I felt like a winner. I sat down that day and I thought I was going to win my first ever table topics ribbon. But no, someone else won. But after the meeting, I thought a lot of people were going to come up to me and tell me what a good job I did. That's what I thought. And a lot of people did say that. A lot of people came up to me and said, yo, Armani, good job on speaking for the whole 1 to 2 minutes. A lot of people can't even get that far. And I'm thinking, yo, what's up, man? Thank you. I appreciate it. And I feel like a $1,000,000. Then most of these people would follow up with, but here's the thing, Armani, you really, really need to work on your filler words. At that time, I was thinking, huh? What's that? And every single person was like, yo, Armani, you use the word a lot. And within those 2 minutes, I apparently said 34 times. 34 times. That's literally me saying every other sentence. And here's the thing. Here is the very spooky thing. Up until that point, I had zero awareness that I was saying in the first place. I was saying like, I was saying so in the first place. I know I was doing it, but it was something that was completely subconscious at that point. So I was in the first boat. I was completely unaware that I was using it. But I was also in the second boat as well, because back then, when I was really, really uncomfortable giving presentations, I didn't want silences as I was talking. Even when I was having a dialogue with someone, I didn't like silences. So I would keep on like, so, saying, like. I would keep saying these filler words to fill up those silences. So I was a little mix of both. You want to ask yourself, what category do you fall in? Or do you fall in both as well? Are you someone who's simply unaware that you're using it? Because if you're unaware, you have to be much more mindful in the process, or you have to wait until someone else comes up to you. Maybe you go to your own table topics and get critiqued live. Whatever it is, you have to make yourself aware. Otherwise, you'll never fix this issue. 2, if you're someone who hates silences, then understand that that's normal. A lot of people, they don't like silences, but the more speaking experience that you get, the more you understand that silences are needed in a conversation. So make your peace with them. Okay, you have to get these first two parts mentally correct before you can keep on progressing forward. Now you understand which boat you fall in. Now the question is, are all filler words really that bad? And here's my answer. No. If you use filler words every now and then, not only is it not bad, but it actually increases your likability. It does. And this is by far one of the weirdest revelations that I made. But if you study the pratfall effect, which is a psychological phenomenon that states humans like other humans with flaws. Okay, this whole thing with perfection, other humans don't like that. Because perfection, it sort of gives you the, this person's saying all the right things, but the vibe isn't right. Because no human is perfect. So something about that person seems synthetic. But if you're a flawed human who occasionally uses words like so, every now and then, now it connects to the human side as well. They notice the flaws subconsciously and they can relate to you. Now you are authentic, not synthetic. So occasionally using filler words is completely fine. If you go through a lot of my YouTube videos, you'll notice I don't edit out certain filler words because I know that in the grand scheme of things, every now and then it enhances your likability. Major key. But the problem is when you start using it way too much. View filler words like a seasoning. I mean, if you have way too much salt in your dish, then it's very noticeable, and now it's not something that you enjoy whatsoever. Even spiciness. If the food's a little spicy, now it gives you this flair, it gives you a unique taste to the food. But if it's so spicy to a point where you're just sweating, your face is turning red, now it's painfully uncomfortable. So you don't want to be that guy that's using 34 times in a 2-minute presentation. It's becoming unbearable. All right? So that's the second thing that you have to understand, that all filler words aren't bad. Okay? When you try to avoid it so much to a point where you're just filtering your speech nonstop, that's bad. Be human, but don't overdo it. Now, here's the golden part of it all. If you are someone who uses a lot of filler words, how do you eliminate it? Well, after I got that level of criticism from the Toastmasters squad, they also gave me a few tips. The first tip is the clicker method, and the second tip is the pinching method. Either get a clicker from Amazon or pinch yourself very hard anytime you use a filler word. Anytime. So for me, my filler word of choice was I love using and from there on out, every single time I would say in a conversation, I would pinch myself really hard. Some people don't like that. Some people bought the clickers. But what happens is now you're associating either a click or pain to that word. Like, so, you know, whatever. You're associating a physical sensation with that word. And now what happens is you slowly start becoming much more mindful of using those words. Much more mindful. And you'll notice that it just starts melting away as you keep on staying consistent. Now, a bonus tip for me, since I did the pinching route, is the harder that you pinch, the quicker that you see progress. Now, if you're someone that doesn't have a high pain threshold, then get a clicker, but be very mindful. Every single time you say the filler word, pull out the clicker, boom, click it. Do it. I prefer the pinching method just because I'm old school, and you know, you'll have a few bruises, but it serves as battle scars. You start feeling more proud of this journey, and you feel much more better in the process. So find out what kind of filler words that you rely way too much on. We all have it. We all have it. And then be mindful. Do either the clicker route or the pinching route. And eventually what's going to happen, as long as you're consistent, is you are going to have more control over those words. Now, does that mean you're never going to use them again? No, sometimes it'll slip out. But that's fine. Once again, the pratfall effect, it increases your likability. Now you control the filler words versus the filler words controlling you. You choose when you want to use it rather than it just slipping out of you accidentally. When you start having control over these words, you'll notice your message increasing in quality. It's no longer watered down anymore. You sound like someone who's an authority in the subject that they're speaking on. That's what we want. That's how you communicate like a winner. Melting away your filler words not only helps you with your speeches, but it helps you with one-on-one interactions as well. So you're basically killing two birds with one stone. And it's all very easy, my friend. Clicker or pincher. Whatever you use, just make sure that you begin. Now, if you enjoyed today's episode regarding filler words, then you truly will enjoy my free daily newsletter. Every day, I drop practical tips, tricks, and tactics on how you can level up your communication skills. Unfortunately, we weren't taught too much about communicating growing up. Therefore, a lot of the stuff that I discussed was learned from practical principles that I had to stress test myself and tips that I work with exclusively with my clients on. These are all info that you get on the ArmaniTalks newsletter, a newsletter that will truly shift your paradigm and have you becoming a master with words. To gain exclusive access, go on over to the description box, hit the link, and sign up, and I'll see you every day at 7 p.m. Thank you, my friend, for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube episode, and I'll catch you next time.